Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is DS.
And I'm Joey.
Today Lola is in Florida.
Orlando.
And what's in Orlando?
Disney World!
And you met Alexa Bliss there, right?
I did. I got her VIP seats to the Little Mermaid show.
You used to work for Disney.
I did.
The big mouse.
I did.
Were they scary?
Alexa Bliss, no. Mickey Mouse, yes.
Joey is an experienced wrestler, as we talked about on our live review. Wrestling since 2010. Wrestled the likes of Santana Garrett.
Yes. She's my favorite. I love her. Headband of power.
Let's talk about all the hot men that you wrestled.
Ooh. I've been in the ring in Battle Royals with Drew McIntyre. EC3.
Oh.
It was Battle Royal. He was in the back and he was just walking around. I've seen EC's 3.
He has two balls.
He does have
He has two balls. Let's get into the news and rumor because there's so many news coming out of WrestleMania weekend. The biggest talking point coming out of WrestleMania was, of course, the finish of WrestleMania Main Event because it was so bizarre.
Even when we were watching it, I was like,
yeah, because it was roll up out of nowhere. Ronda's shoulders were not down. Brett Shepard of Pro Sports Extra first reported right after the match that WWE source said the ending to WrestleMania Main Event was not the planned finish. The end was a botch, and the referee, thinking Ronda's shoulders were down, counted to 3. Ronda not happy.
who cares?
After this, conflicting reports were coming out saying that, oh, actually there were 10 more minutes to the match, but it just ended abruptly. But Wrestling Observer Radio came out saying that that was indeed what was planned for the ending. What was botched was Ronda's shoulder being up.
So it wasn't like a botch. It was just her not putting her shoulder down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did read something about that. Like, she was doing that so she proved that she didn't get beat. Like, wrestling was fake. I don't know if that's like a...
Based on what, at least what Dave Meltzer has been reporting about Ronda Rousey is that she's very much of a team player. Because there are people who would just put their shoulder up even though they're not told to do that. What happened after this, according to Fightful, is that WWE had a huge heat on the referee, Rod Zapata.
Okay.
And he was called into Vince McMahon's office and eventually got fined.
I mean, yeah, you messed up the main event of WrestleMania.
That is pretty huge.
Like, what else can you do that's more wrong than that?
So I guess he should have not counted and then let the match go on for a little bit more.
But then it's just gonna be that awkward thing, like when Alicia Fox didn't break up the Stratisfaction at Evolution. Whole arena of people go, oh! It was audible.
To go a little bit more about the ending, apparently there were a lot of discussions about what should be the ending. A lot of people in the backstage, of course, and the creative team thought Ronda losing to submission would be just too fake. Even in her judo career, she never tapped out, or even in the UFC.
Oh, she didn't submit. She got knocked out.
Yeah, so they just thought it was just not believable enough for Ronda to tap to Becky Lynch. What do you think?
It's wrestling. So I don't care if it's believable or not that Ronda Rousey tapped.
Yeah.
Make her do it. I just watched Colin Jost almost eliminate Braun Strowman
That's true.
at WrestleMania. I could give less of a crap if Ronda Rousey taps to Becky Lynch.
I mean, Ronda Rousey's contract was for 2 years, so she definitely has more contract time left. We're going to talk about her injury, but she can't come back right away right now. But I feel like she has something left with Becky Lynch.
She definitely does. There needs to be something there. I don't know if I feel like she's got something against Becky Lynch or just against wrestling.
Oh, wrestling in general.
I'm digging the idea of the 4 Horsewoman storyline coming back, because then they can all just be like, you know what, screw wrestling.
That's
we
true.
do MMA.
Yeah, and we'll always have that 4 Horsewoman storyline. Yeah, definitely Ronda Rousey's not done. So if and when they are done with the storyline, I think Ronda would probably tap out. And that's going to be a good ending.
What I want at the culmination of this is I want my 4-on-4 with my horsewomen. And then I want all of them to be locked in a disarmor, bank statement, figure 8, whatever Bayley does.
During this match, Ronda Rousey was injured during this WrestleMania main event. According to Dave Meltzer, Ronda Rousey suffered a broken hand during the match, going through that match with a broken hand.
Was it during that tumble where she got drop kicked out of the ring and like landed on?
Nobody talked about when exactly it happened, but she was working with severely broken hand. Ronda Rousey posted a picture of her with Bret Hart backstage during Raw after WrestleMania, and you can see her with cast on her hand.
As much as I don't like Ronda Rousey on WWE, I was all for her at Mania, and then it just kind of went downhill. I don't want to see anyone injured, so I hope she gets better.
I, on the other hand, really enjoyed Ronda Rousey's run in WWE. I thought she performed over anything that people expected from her.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do agree with that. I just hope that now that Rousey's gone for a little bit, the Riot Squad can wrestle.
Oh yeah. WrestleMania was indeed Ronda's last match scheduled.
Right.
And she isn't scheduled for anything at this moment.
Okay.
Okay. So now that Becky Lynch is a champ,
Jump, Becky 2 belts.
there's still unification rumors going around. According to Brett Shepard of Pro Sports Extra, a source in WWE told him that a new women's championship belt has been built, and it's similar to the current model, but with a white face and a black belt.
For the new... No. Well, there's too many people. Like, aside from just the women's division, there's too many in the women's division, and there's too many across the roster. I think you even said it on the live show. It started to feel like Raw was the main show, and then SmackDown was just a recap of Raw. And I don't think they can do that, especially with SmackDown going to Fox.
So we're not even using all the women on the main roster correctly, but there's so many women just waiting in NXT.
Candice LeRae. There's like a surplus of women in NXT now. Like, there's so many that aren't getting used there.
Yeah.
And then they keep bringing them up to the main roster, so you've got like Nikki Cross just sitting there, wondering what's going to go on, and then you're going to say you're going to make the pool even smaller.
Yeah, I just don't think that makes any sense.
Only thing I would be okay with is if it winds up bringing in a mid card for the women's division.
Okay, yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah,
that's the only way I think it'll work.
All right. Well, let's talk about the whole issue with Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks pulled out a Wendy Williams show appearance.
Wendy Williams sucks. She's not a fun human being.
She tweeted out, "Due to personal reasons, I had to pull out of appearance today on Wendy Williams. Sorry to everyone who was looking forward to it." And then she said, hashtag if you only knew. So there is something that we don't know.
Bailey also released like a really sad song lyric. It sounds like something's going down.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's in character and them just being pouty about losing and how they're being booked, because they've done that before, or if something's actually happening.
Page 6 reported that Wendy Williams show producers are furious at Sasha Banks for pulling this stunt. They reportedly said she won't be booked again. She didn't give a real reason for canceling, and she did it only hours before the show tapes.
Oh, I don't have to go on Wendy Williams. Legit, the equivalent of saying, oh, I don't have to get a root canal today. Like, it's like...
During the show, Wendy Williams did say Sasha Banks had to pull out because of a family issue.
First things first, our guest is not here today. The bureau phone rang, and it was Sasha's people saying that she has to cancel. I have no idea why. I hope everything is okay. We're here for you until 2020, Sasha.
Something is happening outside of the storyline. During WWE Raw, Sasha Banks and Bayley, they were challenged by Alexa Bliss for a match.
Right.
But only Bayley was on the show and Sasha Banks was nowhere to be seen.
And Bayley was weird. Something's up.
Something was very weird, yeah.
Her demeanor wasn't even like her character persona. Like, something seemed off about Bayley.
With all these going on and then Sasha Banks posting like cryptic messages on Instagram and Twitter, rumor was circulating on social media saying that Sasha Banks threw a big fit and had a physical altercation backstage after something that upset her. This information is not verified by any of the bigger news sites. People are speculating that WWE might have booked Sasha and Bayley to go against Alexa Bliss in a handicap match, and they probably booked her to lose or something. Like, they're making all these story up because of, you know, well-known beef. The real life beef between Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss.
I guess she just can't handle that Alexa's better, but
And what?
acting, wrestling.
Or fitting Vince's mold.
Here's the thing. Yes, she does fit Vince's blonde, pretty archetype.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason I love her.
Well, we're waiting for more updates about Sasha Banks' situation, but as we've known from before, when it comes to Sasha Banks' personal issues, we just don't hear much about it because she's a very private person. We will update you as we get more updates about this situation. Here's the latest updates from Sasha Banks news. She's currently enjoying a nice vacation from WWE, but Wrestling Observer Radio reported that according to the source, Sasha tried to quit WWE during WrestleMania. This happened before the show when she learned that she will be losing the WWE Tag Team Championship. WWE told Sasha Banks to have a few weeks to think over her decision to leave the company, thinking that it's a very rash decision. Apparently, Sasha was under impression that WWE was going to give her and Bayley a strong title run, which involved some appearances or matches in NXT too. It is also noted that the heat the boss is currently having is not directed to Iconics in any way. On SmackDown, we saw the former SmackDown GM Paige return.
Paige here.
Did ya miss me? She's always there. She's always there. And she said she will be bringing an impressive tag team to go against the Iconics.
I'm so excited.
I'm going to be bringing an impressive tag team of my own.
There are some call-up rumors from NXT. So Dave Meltzer said both Candice LeRae and Kairi Sane has been discussed as among officials as two names that could be leaving NXT for main roster. And according to Pro Wrestling Insider reports, Kairi Sane was backstage during SmackDown Live. And today, they're filming NXT.
Okay.
And apparently there was some segment of Kairi Sane saying goodbye to the audience.
I'm okay with Kairi coming up. I think they need to leave EO. I'm not ready for Sky Pirates to be like a main roster tag team. I think they need to build EO up to the level that Kairi's on.
Okay.
And then make them a tag team.
You mean character-wise, right?
Character-wise.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, wrestling-wise, they're on par. Compare even like Royal Rumble. Like when Kairi's music hit, people went crazy.
Exactly, yeah.
When EO's music hit, people went, huh?
Io was voted like the top wrestler of Japan,
yeah.
both men and women. So her skills are just really up there. But when it comes to her character work, she's just not established yet.
Indies to WWE, you have to go from just being like a wrestler to being a complete marketable package product.
Yeah.
And I think right now you've got Kairi Sane, who's the pirate. You know, that's her thing.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it doesn't really make sense, she's a pirate. But you got Io, who's just kind of, she walks out looking like a luchador, and it doesn't really translate to who she is.
Yeah, NXT will definitely help her brew her character a little bit more. A lot of people are speculating that it would be the Sky Pirates that Paige might be bringing. I just don't know how that will work at all.
Hey there, Sky Pirates here.
You talked about how they might be bringing NXT UK
I think
people.
they should.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
And it would be really cool because it'd be the first time that they started like acknowledging NXT UK on TV.
The thing about that though is if they bring people like Rhea Ripley or Toni Storm, I think this is a conversation around Pete Dunne too, but if you take them away from NXT UK, don't they lose big stars?
No, they've got so many good people.
So you
over
think
there.
the women's division will be fine without Rhea Ripley?
I think they will. The thing about NXT UK is if you look at the crowd and listen to them, they know those people.
Okay.
Which is kind of how NXT kind of lifted up people early in the day because all of those fans knew these people from FCW when they weren't on TV.
Yeah.
So the crowd kind of made them superstars. NXT UK, they still cheer for Walter. They still love Jenny. They love Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven. I think there's still a good base there to finally pull those top tiers in the main roster.
Okay. There's a sad news. WWE has released Dasha Fuentes. She was a backstage interviewer for SmackDown and 205 Live, and you personally know her.
I do. I helped train her when she was starting out.
That's really cool. That's in 2014?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I first started wrestling heavily in Orlando in 2013.
Okay.
And she got asked to do a tryout. So she came to my school, not my school, I don't own it, but the school I was training at, and was trying to really like learn her craft. So I was, teaching her headlock takedowns and things like that.
I didn't know about this about Dasha, but she joined WWE's developmental in 2014 as a wrestler, and then eventually became NXT broadcast team in 2015. But apparently she was let go last Thursday, so right before WrestleMania weekend.
That sucks.
Yeah. So Sarah Schreiber from NXT will be replacing her role as a backstage interviewer.
Oh wait, is that the blonde girl?
Yeah.
Oh. Hello. I am backstage right now going to talk to Adam Cole. Adam, you are going to have an NXT title match later on tonight. How do you feel about your NXT title match later on tonight? Microphone too close to your face.
There's some talks about Beth Phoenix because she performed the house down. I think she was the best performer out of that match.
And she looked gorgeous.
So there are backstage talks about more matches for Beth Phoenix. PW Insider reported that there has been talks among Creative Team about having Beth Phoenix over more for the matches, including the next month's European tour.
Ooh.
Not sure to which extent they're going to use Beth Phoenix.
I would like to see the Divas of Doom in the tag division.
I do.
No lie. I like to see them as much as I like to see, like the Bellas and Lay Cool. Because it's an established team that never really got a shot because that didn't exist.
Yeah.
But there's some people that I really want to see go against Beth Phoenix.
One-on-one.
Even at WrestleMania, I was like, they're letting her go. Like, you didn't get to see her do that back in her original. So it was like, yes.
Yeah. So I would like that. I wanted to see Asuka versus Beth Phoenix for Women's Championship.
I didn't know I wanted something. Now I do.
I think that'd be
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Because my immediate thoughts was like, Beth and Nia.
Beth and that. Oh, That sounds great. They didn't even get to interact that much in WrestleMania.
Which was awful. Like, I mean, the match was great. I love the
Yeah.
match. But I was like, where was my Glam Slam?
Exactly. So there's the news about Mae Young Classics 3 because WWE is planning a third Mae Young Classic. German documentary documenting the latest WWE tryout in Germany revealed that WWE is actually planning this documentary. Sarah Stock, who is in a performance center. Sarita, yeah. She announced that the tournament will return soon. They invited Croatian wrestler Vesna Buzic and French wrestler Amalie Winchester. Is there anyone that you want to see for the third season?
So many people.
I definitely want to see Mercedes Martinez come back.
Please don't put Tayanara Conti back in.
She's very Alexa Bliss too.
But she doesn't have it.
What about Zeus's?
Oh, yeah. I
like her?
liked her, okay.
I freaking hated her costume. Go to Sandra before you come to Mae Young Classics. Will Priscilla Kelly be invited back?
I don't know after what she's been doing. I would really like to see a couple people back. I really hope they bring Jazzy into it because she's signed now.
Okay.
And actually let her wrestle somewhere. Bring back Santana because I fully don't support her all the time. I would really like Leva to get a shot. Leva Bates.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
You know who I really kind of want to see back? Mako Satomura. Please.
Oh, every match that she was in, I was just dying. It was so good.
Her and Mercedes, I'd really like both of them to get signed just because I want to see them face some of the bigger like competitors in WWE because they both are so experienced and they're so crisp.
You know how they always bring women from the past?
Who do you want to see?
Jillian Hall?
I'm okay with that. Part of me really wants to say Melina, but I think Melina's too big to do it.
I think she's too big.
Yeah.
I even thought Caitlyn was too big, but I guess not.
I'm trying to think if there's a woman kind of like Caitlyn in that demographic.
So it was Serena Deebs and Caitlyn so far.
Shaw Guerrero?
Shaw Guerrero? Maybe. Does she still wrestle?
I don't know.
Or even, what happened to Trinity? Does she still wrestle?
I think she's just doing like stunt work now.
Oh, okay. Because
From now
I
on.
heard when she first got signed to ECW, she was like an amazing wrestler.
Oh, yeah,
but
she
she had
is.
no matches except for that street poker.
No, I shouldn't think that.
What?
Bring back Ariel.
Let's bring Ashley. And
Yes! Ashley Massaro!
let's bring Hiroko.
I mean, no.
Interesting news about WWE. WWE is currently hiring for someone to help with the storyline continuity. Yeah. Official title is called Continuity/Script Supervisor. This is a pretty common role. This is a pretty common role for film sets because they always have that continuity person who, let's say the person was wearing a hat for one scene. They just make sure after a break when they come back for the same scene they're wearing a hat.
Yes. I want to do the commentary thing just for Mauro Ranallo and just be like, you've already made these references. He made so many at TakeOver. They're a perfect team, just like Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, but they're not in the shallows.
They've been making some interesting hires for their creative team. They recently hired Dana Warrior to have more women's perspective too.
I mean, I guess she had enough qualifications to do it, maybe?
I've been researching about her experiences before. I haven't seen anything. I know that there was a lot of female employees in social media department or even the road crew. There are female employees. When I was working, I haven't seen any storyline writers, female ones. Having that view and perspective is very important.
It is.
So I think it's a good move.
It's weird to have if it's all males writing from a female perspective because even though you know kind of how people talk, you really don't know what a female's mind is like.
Yeah.
So you kind of need that.
For the longest time, all the storylines about jealousy. My boobs are better than yours.
When it went PG, and then for 4 years straight, it was, they used to be best friends.
Oh my god. Entire storyline was about being friends because that's what guys think women fight about. But also this continuity supervisor, I'm glad that they're having it because wrestling, there's just too much history. And I don't think anyone knows what's going on. So I'm glad that someone is going to look out for that. So this is our last bit of news. But outside of WWE, there's a huge women's wrestling event that is forming right now. Ooh. This is from Squared Circle Sirens. And sources within wrestling has been telling them that during SummerSlam week in Toronto, there's a huge women's wrestling event that is forming right now. Promotions like Shimmer, Rise, WXW Germany, Femme Fatale, and Smash Wrestling in Canada will be all coming together to put a huge show. for the women's wrestling international women. And I was at the Rise.
I am here with the legend, my Korean sister, Gail Kim.
There were 100 women, and the card was just ridiculously good. And we were at the convention part, so we saw like a couple of the preview matches. They were great. So I could only imagine what kind of great matches this will present.
Is this going to be a multi-day event? Because this is a lot of people, it seems like. You know what I mean?
And I also know that Rise is right now coming up with some LGBTQ themed event in Chicago during summer.
Oh.
They just revealed the logo with the rainbow flag on it. So we'll have to see what the deal is.
If it's an LGBT event, you need wrestlers. Hi, I suck dick and can powerbomb someone.
Thank you so much for watching this pretty long and juicy episode of News and Rumor. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter on Nintendo Boy DS.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Joey_Mayberry and on TikTok at Joey Mayberry.
He's a star on TikTok. 13K follows?
Yes.
That's amazing. Bye.
Bye.